Hello everyone, it's me, that guy, the one, joined by the other guy who's also a schizophrenic. Hello, welcome. Seth, this is where you're supposed to say something. Seth, you're not supposed to make me sound like the schizophrenic.
So true.
anyways, the achievement tier list based on how hard they are, based on the more or less two best platform battles players. Um, More or less. I don't think there's anyone else to mention at all. Yep, best two platform battles players. Anyways, Sep, you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. First achievement. I cannot read this. Um, you know what? I'm gonna refer back to the Discord because I know these are in order. Let me just scroll up. Oh, there we go. Okay, heavy-handed, heavy-headed. I'm good at reading.
Heavy hands ring?
Heavy hands ring. Buy your first helmet. Not gonna lie. What do you think, Sep? What do you think? This is
I
a hard
think
one,
that
Sep.
this is a I think this is a
I think I need to
I don't
make a
know,
new
man.
row. I think I need to make a new row.
Yeah, we gotta make a row harder than a true challenge for this one.
Yep, yep, definitely what I was going for. Yep, definitely what I was going for. Definitely what I was going for. Anyways, next achievement. First a mini, gain a soul. What do you think? Have to kill something for this one. Wait, wait, that's not even the first. That's not even the next one. Did I forget to download one? No, it's literally all the way down here for some reason. Okay, okay. Next one. Tradesman. Sell your first item. Have to get an item. Um, if you spawn in the forest, that's pretty easy. If you spawn in not the
Eh,
forest, it takes a minute, but still it's pretty. Oh
not
wait, I
really.
literally crystals. I'm putting this in
Yeah,
free.
exactly.
I haven't played the game in like a hot few months. Start of path. Buy your first weapon. You have to sell a few crystals for this one. Except not really because the crystal achievement gives you not the crystal achievement, the tradesman achievement literally gives you gold to buy a weapon. So also gonna put it in free. Um, God Rebel. Bring a soul to them. Um, what do you think, Sep? How hard is
Well,
turning in a soul?
I mean, if you're a new player, you probably won't even know they exist.
Them? Oh no, trust me. Okay, when I first started playing platform battles, I turned all my souls into them while I was going knight. Paladin knight, by the way. Paladin was
Man,
my first class, so this was actually the first achievement I got. I would have gotten like one of the first, so I'm putting it in free. Purpose fulfilled. Mitra also free. Um,
don't you mean Matera?
Shep, did you not send me the Mortem achievement?
Um, I'm pretty sure. Did it not? No, it's here. It's here. Role change, type mortality.
What's the difficulty on that one?
Very easy.
Oh, okay. That's just a few achievements down. Okay, it was just a little bit harder. Okay, Armory. Buy your armor. Little more expensive, still free. Stone Golem. All right. How hard is killing a Monstone? How many freshies have you seen die to Monstones?
More than more than should be usual, but that was only when they're like really new. I
So we're
mean, yeah,
going
I'd say it's pretty easy.
pretty easy. I'd say Mortem is kind of hard to find for like new people, so I'm just gonna put that in easy instead of
Yeah, because of that maze. I have that thing memorized like the back of my hand.
me too. I cut my wrist on Friday. If you wanted to know that. Yeah, I was rock climbing. I was rock climbing, and it kind of just like the rocks just like shredded my wrist because apparently you're supposed to use your hands to grab them and not your wrist. No one told me.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. Craft your first scroll. Easy. Um,
Yeah.
not really that hard of a thing to do, but you might not know where he is. City of Powder. How hard is getting to that place in desert? You don't really have to go anywhere dangerous. It's just traveling, so you
Yeah.
have to travel a
That
bit. So I'd put it in easy because it's not like entirely
easy
free.
seems fair. It's not
Um,
exactly free because a lot of people get lost in the desert.
kill a monster. I'm I'm still saying that's pretty easy.
Yeah. Unless you get like multiple of them at once, but that's not the point. So yeah.
Yeah, which it's like that won't be that hard by the point you get to there. So Dungeon of Death. Enter the dungeon. Technically, entering the desert isn't that hard as long as you can survive cactus. So I'll put it in like upper easy. I didn't really bother
Yeah, I mean,
rating these ones.
sometimes you don't even get any encounters at all.
Yeah, like I've been like desert for like trying to crack for cactus relic. Duel of Swords. Dawn isn't extremely hard, but based on like sort of a newer perspective, it could take you a few attempts. Unless you know that really funny thing with you can do with Namek, or just in the battle where you can just escape it if you wait while they overstate. It was really funny. It was really funny. What do you think? Free or normal? I mean, not free, but easy or normal. Fighting
Well,
Dawn.
I'd say it's probably an upper easy, if not lower normal, just because
Yeah, I'd say upper
people
easy.
don't realize that speed is key in that fight. Because when you're new, you can't really dodge very well.
Yeah, the doorbell sound was so great, Sup.
So true.
So true. True friend. This one might actually be really hard. You know why? What's up? I'm going schizophrenic again. Thanks.
Sorry, sorry. True friend is a pretty funny achievement.
Yeah, you have to have friends to do it, which makes it pretty hard.
Not necessarily if you go like a card duelist or summoner,
Oh,
but
true. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in easy
I
just
I
because
put that
it's.
in. Hmm, yeah, just because you have to either have friends or get a class.
Yeah, I mean, if you could really do it pretty easy. Kingdom, Intermeter Kingdom. I'd actually put this in normal because you need to be orderly.
You need 40 souls to get there, so
Yeah, which is like a decent bit. Second Wind, you need to get a Necromancer to like alive you. Honestly, it's not like hard on your part, but you also need to know a Necromancer or be one, and then resurrect like yourself on a different account. So, what do you think?
honestly, it's not really all that difficult, but extenuating circumstances make it a little funny sometimes.
So, just normal, I'd say.
Yeah.
Return to Cinder. Um, you need a certain class to get it, right? So, it's really just like I think I need to make a new tier. Let me just make a new tier.
Yeah, with Return to Sender, I want to say that nobody goes card duelist anymore, but I saw like 4 of them today alone, so.
What is this? Why is it over there? Go down. Okay. We're gonna make this tedious. We're just gonna make like tedious, cause like it's like they're not really hard, but they're like not really easy to do because they're just kind of annoying. A traveling merchant, that's easy. That's
Definitely. I
like
would even argue free if they are selling like a goblet or something.
yeah, honestly, it's mostly just finding them. So Ascension, become a demon. How many souls does become a demon? Like
For tier 1, it's like 100.
so you'd have to like kill 100 monstones. So that would I'd put that in upper normal. It's not really hard, but um war um this achievement actually becomes easier the worse you are at the game.
I mean, yeah, but I'd also argue it's pretty tedious because you kind of just have to sit there spamming wait in a battle with like a Monstone for 70 turns.
I remember how I got this achievement. I was just in a battle with an illusion.
Oh man, that sounds really similar to how I got it.
No, it was because I was a card duelist and I was messing with card duelist things. Oh right, I was trying to work with Return to Cinder. I was trying to get that achievement. It was really funny. Fight sand with sand. Um, it's kind of, how would you put this? There's one a sand attack in the game, so total amount of work you have to kill a sand elemental, go to the magic trainer, get a scroll. Not to mention, sand elementals only spawn during a sandstorm.
Encounters can also be pretty fatal.
So I don't know if that'd be hard. I think I need to make another new tier. Add a row above. I'm gonna name it slightly hard.
Yeah, because it can be a fatal encounter if you get like 3 fire elementals and a sand elemental.
Next achievement, enchanted. Um, this pretty easy. Pretty easy. It's mostly just getting the items, and I'd say by the time you're like at that point, it would become really easy. So I'd put it in easy, honestly. Sandstorm. I mean, all you have
That's
to do is,
literally free.
yeah, all you have to do is enter a sandstorm. So you don't have to stay there or anything. Soul Trader. You have to wander around desert, and most of the
For a
spawn
long
locations,
time.
yeah, unless you like know all the locations. But
Hmm.
um, I'd say tedious.
Definitely.
Um,
Especially you don't just have to find them, you have to trade with them, and if you don't have an item they want,
oh my god, yeah, tedious, definitely. Okay, so fight fire with fire. Um, this one's not that hard, just because there's like a certain class that literally makes this the easiest thing in the world called Phoenix. There's also Fire Punch from Monk, which is just Phoenix again. And
yeah,
then
but still I'd still put it with that one sand achievement just because the nature of encounters.
yeah, yeah, find elementals are out of aids. Even deeper into the dungeons, desert dungeons second level. I mean, you just have to get through dungeon with a golden eye, so I'd say it's slightly hard. It's not like the hardest thing.
It is a bit annoying because collision physics or whatever in Roblox, and then your golden eye rolls away and
Well,
you
yeah, we're
can't
just
get
talking
it.
about getting there though, not like
Yeah,
the consequences of being there.
that's
So,
fair.
Delusion of Victory. Complete the Illusionist quest. This one requires a few things. Obviously, you need to get in Demetrius' kingdom, and then you need to be able to fight the Illusionist and win.
The illusionist is really annoying.
Just because of his combat system. If you're the wrong class, going into it solo could be fatal.
Definitely.
A lot of the time it isn't, but I put it in slightly hard.
Yeah.
Actually, I put it in hard. I think it deserves it.
Mm, maybe we have to consider the context that we're dealing with because there are a lot of very difficult things in this game, like Kanye.
Kanye, yeah. I guess slightly hard is probably where I'd put most of those mini bosses and such. Okay. So next, enough for power. Gain 80 souls. I'd say this is normal. It's just kind of like it would take a minute, but it's not really that hard.
Yeah, because I mean that's basically the Ascension achievement right there. You put it below Ascension.
Yeah, it's like below these. Okay. Overkill. Deal 50 damage more than you need to kill an enemy in a single attack. So you need to do like 51 damage minimum in a single attack. Um, I don't know. That could be pretty hard. I mean, depending on what class you are, you'd have to like.
It's heavily class dependent. probably good for tedious.
If you just got like puffed a bunch of buffs and just like got like a monster to 1 HP, it would be pretty easy. Or something like that.
Well, still class, because even with
Yeah.
a bunch of buffs, it's kind of hard to deal heavy attack damage with like.
So I'd say tedious probably, because it's not like really that hard. It's just you need to be very certain thing.
Yeah.
Ultimate monster. Ultimate is this seriously not? Why is it named Ultimate Monster, not Monster?
You know what? That's a very good question.
Like the boss is named Ultimate Multi Monster. So why is the achievement not named Ultimate Monster? Not why is it named Monster? Okay, you know what? Whatever. It's slightly hard. It's like if you're unprepared, it could be deadly, but
Definitely.
if you're going for it, you probably know what you're doing with. Okay, next, Lich King. Defeating Lich King. Um, I mean, it's like the easiest boss. It's most.
Definitely.
I'd say.
It's
I mean, technically speaking, you just had to fit the Lich King, meaning all you have to do is
the
kill
what
it.
king?
Shut up. All you have to do is kill the Lich King, right? You don't even have to kill the golem for the achievement. But when we're talking about beating the encounter, then I mean that could be ever so slightly hard. Just because
Eh,
is the golem is a little difficult. I'd put it like below. I'd put it like down on the slightly hard.
yeah, below UMM.
Yeah. Um. Next, mechanical engineer. Beat the mechanic. What do you think, Sep? How hard is the mechanic?
The mechanic, with a decent party, it's pretty simple, but if you try and go in there solo, I've died a few times. Solo as in one account.
Yeah. Um.
They just overwhelm you so quickly if you don't
Taking
kill off the
into
mechs.
taking into account like so it's a 4 person party thing, right? Or is it a 5 person? I forgot.
5 person.
5 person. So a 5 person party, let's say of tier twos. What do you think their chances are? Like normal sort of tier twos that aren't like overly hard to get, like one of those beginner-ish parties
Beginnerish party.
that don't have like
I mean,
these super complicated subclasses.
as long as they've got like a tank and a mage with lightning strike, it shouldn't be too hard. I'd say it definitely above UMM though, just because of the summons that can easily overwhelm you if you don't stay on top of them. And I mean, that damage racks up quickly.
Yeah, it's just about managing the summons. So it's definitely above UMM, but like not not hard. Speedrun, it's free. It's like it's like the hardest free achievement here, but it's still free just because like you know you just have
It's
to glitch
entirely RNG.
it. It's free if you have good RNG. If not, then it's a little hard. Ascension 2. So, you know, become an ascended demon, meaning how many souls turned in? Like 250 or something?
It's
Something
it's like
around there.
you turn in 100 souls and then you spend 50 to become a demon, and then you have to turn in another 100 souls and spend 50 to become an ascended demon. So
So 300. Um, so I mean that's pretty hard, but like not hard. It's just tedious.
definitely grinding all those souls.
Yeah. Mind bending, make an illusion, use confusion illusion on an illusion.
That's
So
a tongue twister.
make an illusion, use confusion illusion on an illusion. A little. Um, so if you have confusion illusion, it's just about spamming that move for the entire time. So I mean,
A little tedious.
it's
You
a
just
little
have to get
tedious.
lucky with encounters.
I'd honestly just say it's like, yeah. You just need a double illusion encounter, so it's tedious. Successful tradesman, it's easy. It's just about selling a whole ton of stuff. You could literally just sell crystals for like what? Okay, it
I'm
would be
gonna
like
sell 500 crystals, huh?
you could run dungeon for this, and running dungeon is pretty easy most of the time. Um,
Yeah, just sell a bunch of like golden items. They're 60 gold apiece.
we're getting into some of the harder things. Tokino.
Oh man, this reminds me. I won't let you through. And then I hit her with the 114 damage Dark Slash and just split her in half.
So base Tokino, not that hard. With the, I mean, by the time you're doing that, you're doing Blood Mansion. You've already gotten through Temple and stuff, meaning you already have a pretty competent party. If you've gotten through Temple, you can get through this boss, I'd say.
Ah, I'd still put them in
Now,
slightly hard. Just a
yeah,
bit. Maybe the top of slightly hard, because I mean, maybe
honestly, I
around UMM.
yeah, I'd say there probably works. Like, it's not really that hard compared to the mechanic, because mechanic is like, if you got unprepared in that fight, you'll probably die. Blood
Oh yeah.
Mage, it's just about killing them fast enough. It's not really hard. You just need to make sure the damage
Yeah.
doesn't stack up, or you have a good healer. The Brute Mech, um,
Honestly,
not
if
really
you
that
didn't
hard.
bring Lightning Strike, you're just you're screwed.
No, not really. I never even use Lightning Strike. I just like use a multi-hit, it drains all of his energy, and he just can't do anything. So
Well,
honestly,
how long ago was that? Because he has some incredible energy capacity, and like I kill him all the time just by spamming Shadow Dagger Slash, and he doesn't die of lack of energy.
I
He
just
usually
use
stays at least 4 or 5.
I use Chief Fighter AFA on him, and he just dies in like two of those. So
Hmm.
I mean, I'll put it in slightly hard. It's not harder than Mechanical Engineer. I don't even think it's harder than Tokino, to be fair.
Yeah, because as long as you hit them a couple times, they basically
It's
just don't attack you back.
yeah, it's pretty easy. But it's like not easy. It's just easy in most scenarios. Cold Place, you need a fire key, so you'd have to either like you'd have to do anything revolving to the tedious. So I'd put it in
Well,
normal.
not really. You can buy them from the traveling merchant for 1,000 gold.
True. I'd put it in normal. It's not like depending on which way you get it, it could be easy or tedious. All right, unsatisfied reputation. Gain 500 souls.
Wowza.
Tedious.
Definitely.
Shadow Lair. It's like 200 gold and you get into Shadow Lair. That's all you need to do. So it's pretty easy.
Barely.
Yeah, ultimate power source. Beat the gym powered mech. Gym powered mech can be a pretty good challenge
They can be a pretty big
if you
challenge,
don't one turn them.
especially if you don't. Nah, depending on how the turn order goes, you either have to kill him in 1 turn or 2. So with a little bit of luck and a lot of DPS, he's not really a problem.
Yeah. Um.
But he can still be easily be fatal with 140 damage in a single turn if he just decides to target one person entirely. Yikes.
Yeah. Next one, parry. Make an attack deal 50 damage less than it should. You need someone or a boss with like a really high damaging move, and you need ice shield, right?
Yeah, Ice Barrier. You can also do it with Shadow Dodge.
Yeah, I think I did mine with Shadow Dodge. It was really funny because I just had someone hit me over and over in arena.
I'd say it's actually pretty easy. You just get Ice Barrier and then
As long as you have the stuff required, it's kind of easy. All right, berry hard. Eat a strawberry while being at 76 health in a battle against a forest wizard that has 67 health and a forest spirit with 12 health and 1 energy.
I got the War achievement trying to get this achievement.
Tedious.
Definitely.
like
I needed
high
that
tedious.
respiration relic, you know?
Like definitely high tedious. Okay, next, the attendant. I mean, unorganized team probably die. Actually, not even.
Not even. You can beat him with a full team of tier 2s. But
Yeah,
it can still, I would say it's in the slightly hard, but pretty low on the spectrum.
like
Probably a bit more than Ultimate Multi-Monstor just because of his attack patterns and the 3 phases.
yeah. Bloodstained Metal, the Android Charger. Let's take this from a non-cheese standpoint. Because
If
cheesing
you're
this guy
not
easy.
cheesing him,
Like,
if you're not cheesing him,
that
ugh.
means practically just letting him hit you with his thing and then going all out. Assuming you kill him that turn that he goes all out. Like, how hard do you think this would be?
I think that with proper preparation, I'd put it at above the mechanic and slightly hard, but if you don't have a lot of specific things like ice barrier and sight potions, or just a really high speed build in general, with a decent defense, it can easily become fatal.
I'm still planning on soloing this. I think I actually have soloed this boss. If it was a chief fighter, it's always so funny. I'd put it on the hardest of slightly hard.
Definitely.
I mean, honestly, it might be hard.
Compared to like Hyman, yeah, I'd say he goes
They're
in there.
about the same, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I'd say hard. Dedication, kill 100 monsters. Tedious, but like not extremely.
I mean, it's at the same level as the get 80 souls achievement.
I think I put that in easy. Oh, no, I put that in normal. So it's not really hard, but it's not tedious either. So I'll just put it in normal. Dag's challenge. Eat fish cake. Uh,
I mean, with that
Tedious.
one, definitely, because you have to like go all the way from the tundra to Mapurl,
You
and
have
you've
to
got to go to the
gotta
Matera's kingdom and do the cake
quest line.
quest,
Yeah.
which is annoying in and of itself.
So next one, Legend Assassination. Legend Assassination. Legendary Assassination is probably the right name it should be, but I'm not
No, no, no.
surprised.
What do you know? What if the Lightning Sage is a legend? You are assassinating a legend then.
Legend Assassination. I guess that could make sense. Complete the assassination on the Lightning Sage. He's a Lightning Sage?
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
I mean, he uses Lightning Punch, and then he uses Lightning Punch, but a barrage.
You got a point. All right, how hard is he? Do we want to take into account version 2 Cetus? I feel like we should just because, you know.
Well, you don't have to beat version 2 Cetus to beat him. You just have to. It's the same thing. We're not going off the consequences of getting the achievement. We're going off what it takes to get there and doing it itself.
Yeah. So you have to beat normal Cetus, which is literally just fighting a Chief Fighter that doesn't know how to get a Sage Scroll. Um, so pretty easy at that point, and then
I
he's
have
like, you
some.
have a whole. He gives you a whole turn to prep. So
No, no, it's like 2 or 3 turns. I think it's 2 turns.
I think it's 2 turns, yeah. So I'd say it's normal. It's not really that
Well,
hard.
I mean, I've got some fond memories of Sage. You were
No
there for
personal
it.
bias. No personal bias, Sceptile.
No personal bias. You're right. But still, with an unprepared team, I can see it being a little challenging.
So like,
I,
where in slightly hard? Because that's where most of our bosses are.
I
So
definitely put it above UMM just because you have to go through Tundra to get to him.
above or below attendant?
The Attendant, yeah, I'd put him above the Attendant just because of the nature
Brute
of the
mech?
Brute Mech. I mean, the Brute Mech is fairly easy.
Yeah, I'd say Honestly, I'd say just above Brute Mech, but not above whatever the strongest blood. Yeah, Tokino. Not above Tokino.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just because Tokino's lackeys can get really annoying.
Strongest vampire, Hyman. Hyman, I'd say hard, just because that's where we put Android Charger. I'd say it's like
Yeah.
right there at the Android Charger. It doesn't really matter which one is ahead. They're kind of the same. Beat the Servant. Who's the Servant again?
The servant's in mansion. He's at the staircase that leads to
Oh,
Vlad. He's
oh my God! I always confuse the Servant and the Attendant. I thought when we were talking about the Attendant, we were talking about the Servant.
in a way, bro.
Whatever. It's like doesn't matter. This
The servant is yeah.
he. It's kind of like you could
It,
beat him.
it's definitely. I would say it's more tedious than slightly hard, just
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
could have no one
tedious.
hit him. I mean, I've nearly full party wiped to him before, just because no attack would connect, and I couldn't keep up with the healing, and the damage just accumulated.
Yeah,
So you can one shot him with a lot of different builds. The problem is RNG basically.
yeah. Cosmic Monster, Space Golem. Yep, that's what it's called. Um, I mean, I wouldn't. It's not really that hard. I used to fight this guy all the time on a mecha, and it was kind of free.
Yeah, I mean you can basically solo him with a lot of classes, or at the very least duo him. But I'd still put him above Ultimate Multi Monstor just because of his high damage output and high speed.
I'd put him at
Probably a
like below Tokino, but above Legendary Assassination.
yeah. Well, maybe not above Legend Assassination, just because of
Brute
all the
Mech.
Tundra counters.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, the Tundra account encounters would probably put Barak above Tokino too.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of
I
fair.
mean, just remember the first Tundra expeditions. Who
Yeah. Anyways, next achievement. Gabriel, the Angel of Mortals. Gabriel isn't that hard.
he's really not. You can beat him with. He was designed to be fought with tier ones and tier twos.
Yeah. Um, I'd put him above UMM just because UMM could also be done with that. But like honestly, not above
His
the attendant.
undodgeables and extra damage against demons make him a bigger threat than UMM.
Honestly, to be fair, I'd put attendant above brute mech. Now that I actually know what
Yeah,
I'm talking
definitely,
about, because
definitely.
attendant is kind of a challenge when he pulls out the ray gun.
It has really high armor piercing too, but honestly, it's not that hard to
He
keep
has
up with
high
the
speed,
damage.
which is my issue. I can't
True,
dodge.
he
Um,
can't dodge.
Cyborg, become an android, so like literally right there with Android Charger.
Yep.
So up there. Bad news, run out of light in the shadow layer.
If you're not using anything to increase your light, you usually don't run out of light until around, unless you let the dark mages attack. But usually you don't run out until around room 22 or so.
Oh nah, bro, they let the dark mages attack. They
If
do.
we assume that the dark mages are attacking and they're lowering the light level, room 12 or so.
So, how hard is this achievement? Like just to get.
Well, you have to account for the fact that you're going to be
Let's
fighting shadows.
let's just say though. Let's just say though. All you had to do was get the achievement, and that's what you were going for. You could do it in the first room then, if you had enough people,
True,
just trying to get it.
if you just have someone
Like
spamming dark mage, dark explosion, or shadow
so,
orbs.
that could just be like right there with entering, just like right above entering. Where did I put the entering?
But we're also not talking about like cheesing, like legitimately acquiring it as you go on.
True. So what? It was like it would be like normal. I wouldn't say it's that hard to do.
Well, I guess it's really RNG dependent. If you get a 5 shadow encounter, you're somebody's dying.
And a 5 shadow encounter, unless you're tanks, yeah. Death dodge, survive Dabria's assassination. So you have to beat Dabria. Um, I mean, what are we assuming
Definitely
for
harder
this?
than UMM.
What are we assuming for this though? Like, what situation is this happening in? Is it happening in someone put out an assassination on me and I just figured out because I'm getting killed, or is it a I'm trying to get shadows so I'm gonna
Well,
have help?
rather than assuming that somebody's just farming them for soul relics or they just got jumped, let's assume somebody's trying to get shadow.
Yeah,
Because honestly, if we went off the metric of getting jumped, that's suicide for basically any class.
I don't think I've seen anyone beat Dabria in a 1v1.
Yeah.
Like, even for you,
Maybe
that would
Phoenix.
be no, because multi hits. The multi hits will shred, and also Phoenix got nerfed. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, that's not the issue. Dabria has an intricate targeting system. If your defense is above a certain value, she won't use her Shadow Dagger slash.
So you just have to be a high defense, like a really high defense
But
shadow.
that's also hyper specific. You'd have to be a Phoenix with really high defense.
Yeah. So let's assume you're like got a decent party, like definitely a rogue, so the person trying to get shadow. Probably like you'd probably have some tier threes, like maybe like a paladin or something. Let's assume you had a solid team, but not like meta.
Yeah. If we're going under that assumption, they're
There could be people
definitely
that
above
die.
Tokino.
There's
Somebody
definitely
could definitely die.
there's definitely someone dying in like a solid team, but not meta. Because like most of the time you fight them, you have a meta build. Honestly, I'd put it in hard. Like
Yeah, because I mean, you have to also farm 300 souls for it.
yeah, I put it in just hard. It wouldn't be above Android Charger and all that stuff, just because like it's not that bad. There's like
Yeah.
it's like if you go in four people, it's like only a 1 out of 4 chance you die practically. It's mostly just about how fast people can get there.
Oh yeah. If you don't have good survivability right at the start, the battle could be over before backup arrives.
Yeah. So next, Master Tradesman, tedious, just really tedious.
Definitely. Definitely.
Stronger Shadow, defeat the Darkness Heart, meaning you're going through all of Shadow Lair. Now, we're gonna assume you have a team that can get through all the encounters, meaning you can fight those 3 Shadow encounters, right?
Yeah.
So, what are we assuming? Like, definitely, there's like a Paladin in this team. Um, there's probably some mages, like some clerics in this team. Um, and then like a solid DPS, so like probably a Shadow. So
Yeah. Well,
probably Soul Warrior. Let's actually say so. Let's say there's like a cleric, a Soul Warrior, a Paladin. Then what? Like a Demon Slayer, probably.
Demon Slayer would be a fair bet, but I mean, if we put Demon Slayer in there, not a lot of people go Demon Slayer for one, and
True.
so your average party won't have it, and two, Demon Slayer just makes Shadow Lair really easy.
Okay, let's assume this: Soul Warrior, Paladin, probably another Soul Warrior, cleric, and like something to just boost DPS, like Shadow, like for that
Or a
Shadow.
gunslinger or a sharpshooter.
Yeah. Going
I mean, if we're
against them,
going off that metric, that's a pretty common team when Shadow Lair first released, and a lot of parties died around room 40 or 30.
well, that's about how my team was, and my team beat it, so I think
Yeah,
with pretty minimal deaths too. I
I
think
think
I
about 1 in 3 teams full party wiped
yeah, I
with
I
a
know I
prompt
had
similar to
like
that.
I was the first team to get it. Our team was like the first team to get it. And I think maybe one person died.
Yeah. So I'd say Going through all of Shadow Lair, just because the nature of getting three
I'd
shadow
say
encounters
I'd say
fairly
it's harder than
commonly,
Diamond. I'd say it's harder than Diamond.
definitely, definitely.
Just because that final boss can actually be a pretty good challenge because of that like possession. If you don't
Oh
like
yeah.
kill him really fast or like have or specifically are prepared for it, then it will be a challenge. Cave
Yeah,
Stone
see,
challenge.
the problem with running Darkness Heart is sometimes if you bring a whole bunch of meta builds, you're so good that you end up killing your teammates really quickly.
Because someone forgot how to dodge, like me.
Oh no, it's not even that you forget how to dodge. You end up trying to dodge the dagger slash barrage of a 20 unbuffed 20 tick dagger slash barrage of a 16 speed, but now they have 21 speed and now they're doing close to 30 tick.
Yeah, it happens. So yeah, definitely, honestly, very hard? Question mark.
Yeah, I'd definitely put it up there and very hard.
So okay, next is Cave Stones challenge. I don't think this is that hard. It's
You just
just
need a specific build.
if you're literally a Lant with like any sort of defense-based class, you just can do this easily.
I mean, you basically just get a paladin with a whole lot of defense, and then you have somebody feed you might potions constantly, and then you just punch until it dies eventually.
You can use potions in the fight.
Oh, I don't know if you can actually.
I'm pretty sure it's punch only. That's what Moore said. They can't use anything during it. So
So
let's
if it's
assume
only punch, it's just
it's
if it's
just
only
time taking.
punch,
So I'd say tedious, honestly.
definitely tedious, just because you have to have a really specific build, and you also have to, sit there for an hour.
I just say upper tedious. Okay, next the Angel of Defense, Michael, meaning you have to beat Gabriel and get what 300 souls, 250.
It's 300. It
Yeah,
used to be 500, but I'd definitely put him at very hard, just because he can nearly one-shot almost any demon, and if you don't guard as a demon when he uses the call out, you just drop. We're talking 6 defense, 120 health, one shot, 120 to zeroed.
yeah. The call out is like the worst thing. If you're going with a prepared team, it could be like pretty normal, I'd say. But like sometimes when you go in with three people named Barte, Sep, and Avery, and like somehow the Shadow is the only one surviving at the end, like and just barely manages to kill it. Then it can be pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we should put it above Shadow Lair though, just the entirety of Shadow Lair.
Yeah, I'd say below. Like it's pretty hard, but it's not that hard because Shadow Lair is a combination of tedious and hard. It's
Yeah,
tedious
definitely.
enough where you want to slack off, but hard enough where you can't. I know, I ran it with Fred. Bro was playing Terraria the whole time.
Benefits of being a tank, I guess.
He was a demon slayer. We were running a demon slayer
Oh,
party. Lunar enemy, kill a moonstone. With the new Blood Moon update, I'd say not that hard. I like
yeah, I'd probably.
a
Well,
little
I mean,
tedious, but
we also have to consider the fact that against a demon, they can pop off with a 15 tick
I'd say
lunar beam or more.
I'd say it's
It,
not harder than any of the bosses, but it's still slightly hard.
yeah,
All right, now we're getting into some of the harder ones. Survive FedEx. I don't know how to say his name. Assassination.
bro said survive FedEx.
FedEx. Yeah, you have to survive FedEx. It's a pretty hard thing. Assassination. So, I mean, let's not consider what you have to do for this because it's not really that difficult. It's just killing a bunch of people, which is like kind of weird, and it's not really that
I
hard.
guess it could be difficult just because of the difficulty in finding appropriate targets that won't get you hunted.
Yeah, like all those freshies I found, they were just like waiting to be killed. I don't know why. So anyways, um, how hard is Phoenix? Let's just assume the boss battle. How hard?
Alright, we're looking at 750 health. He can force people to guard him, so as well as relatively high damage, high armor pierce, and bleeding effect. I'd probably put him. We haven't ranked Vlad yet, but I wouldn't say he's as hard as the Android Charger. I'd say he's, well, maybe. Just because of his unique moveset and his summons that can be really annoying at times, I'd probably put him right up in hard.
Harder than Dabria, but like not as hard as
Yeah.
Stranger Charger. So right between them.
Well,
Honestly, honestly though,
I think
I
he'd be
honestly think
harder than Hyman.
I think it'd be harder than Android Charger and Hyman.
Just because his more health and his more versatility and his ability to manipulate your teammates into
Yeah.
guarding him.
Okay. Now we're getting to some of the funnier achievements. Hard mode Hyman.
Oh man. You need to go through hard mode Tokino just to get to him. Or if you didn't, oh boy, you
Actually,
have to
yeah.
fight.
Let's give a few achievements because I don't know why they're not ordered correctly. Let's say hard mode Tokino first.
Yeah. Well, let's go with Blood God first because that's Vlad.
Where is Blood God? Why is it all the way over here? Okay, yeah, Blood God. Win a battle against Vlad. You have to survive. So what? You have to target him 20 times. Summons do count, though. So if you bring a summoner, that makes it easier. Assuming you had a non-summoner based party, though.
Well, actually, summons only count with the initial summoning for some reason,
No, pretty sure not.
unless it's a manipulator. So if it's like a card duelist
Oh
or
yeah, no,
a
you're right. You're
summoner,
right.
if it's a card duelist or a summoner or a necromancer, it basically does nothing. But
Yeah,
if you
okay. I
have
was
a
thinking about something else.
manipulator,
I was thinking about something else. You're right. So, anyways, how hard? Just like with a normal party that I'd say would be decently prepared for it.
decently prepared, looking at 1 to 2 losses. But if you have a very, very, very specific team, namely 2 tanks, a healer, and then a pseudo tank slash DPS and a DPS with high survivability like a berserker, then you can clear it fairly simply. So I wouldn't put him above Michael. I'd want to say he's definitely more than Hyman. I'm not sure if I'd say he's more than Phoenix.
Yeah, honestly, because it's just like the goal isn't to kill him; it's just to attack him a lot. So, I mean, if you wanted to go a little bit risky, you could all just target him for 4 of his turns. Unless, like, of course, blood manipulators happen, then it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he summoned blood manipulator, we killed it, and then he summoned the exact same one on the exact same person. That person being me, on my like 30 damage beast. I killed myself.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that sort of uncertainty, kind of like in the Phoenix fight where he can just kind of force you to do things. So I'd say it's
Yeah.
honestly above Phoenix, but I wouldn't put it in very hard. Honestly, I'd say it's hard. Like it definitely has
Definitely
that.
hard with an unprepared party.
It's like this can give you a run for your money. All right, next, Tokino achievement, strongest blood mage. So
Mm.
let's take this up here. So where do we think
Where do we think? Well, we also have to account for Hubert,
Hubert?
because we
Yeah,
can't kill her without killing Hubert. And Hubert has very scary stats, but he doesn't actually do all that much. Tokino can actually one-shot someone if they're not very tanky, and if they've taken even just a little bit of damage, so it requires a lot of healing to deal with her.
I'd say. I'd say honestly. What do we think? Is it harder than Vlad?
It's definitely harder than Vlad, just because Hubert and also the fact that she can full heal herself if you try and target her and not her summons.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd still put it maybe above Michael.
Above, yeah, honestly, yeah, honestly above Michael. All right, I think that's pretty good. Next, Hyman. What do we think?
Hard mode Hyman. Ooh,
Yep.
he's. I'd definitely put him above Shadow Lair just because he negates the ability for tanks to guard, and he also does 75 damage per hit, and he can attack 3 times in one turn.
You
He
have
can
to be,
basically kill.
you have to be super prepared, or else you're
Yes,
guaranteed losses.
exactly. I mean that's the ability to kill 2 people in just one turn.
Yeah.
I would almost put that in a true challenge,
Yeah, honestly, I think it deserves to be a true challenge.
especially if you're fighting him with Tokino. Ooh,
We're not gonna go into that until the achievement.
yeah,
Okay.
until we get to Kanye West.
You mean Kanye North?
True, Kanye
All
East.
right. Hypocritical servant defeat Lamia. So let's just not guess how I pronounced that horribly. Um. So let's see. I'm gonna say don't take into account how Temple is because Temple is just tedious and annoying. Um.
Yeah, her boss fight in general,
It's like
lots.
it's
It's like the
it's
illusionist on
tedious.
crack.
It's literally so
Take the
tedious.
illusionist, take Michael, combine them, and then you've basically got a boss.
So
That is Lamia.
I wouldn't say it's harder than Tokino's hard mode, but it's harder than Michael.
Definitely.
Um, all right. The Ultimate Vampire defeat Kanye North. So
Mm,
let's just take into account you have to beat Hyman. It's it's up. It's already above. Like there's not even a point of discussing this. It's literally already above Hyman because you have to defeat Hyman and Tokino at the same time.
definitely. It's probably the most difficult achievement.
Yeah, because let's put you through the ringer on this one. You have to defeat Normal Mansion, meaning all the bosses plus Vlad. Then you have to defeat all the hard mode bosses, but well, actually, yeah, all the hard mode bosses more or less. But you have to fight them both at once.
And then
So
Kanye himself isn't a joke either.
yeah,
You're looking at 2 phases with insanely high defense in the first phase, with the ability you have to dodge him in the first phase, otherwise he basically heals all the damage he just took.
yeah. All right, and then these last achievements are kind of just jokes. So Ancient Grove, entering it, it's free if you know where it is. It's not really that hard. It's just like finding it. Say the secret phrase. Um, what do you think? What do you think, Seb?
I don't know, man. I mean, I definitely put it above Kanye.
Yeah, honestly, I think we need to make a new tier.
Yeah, we need to make a new tier for this.
Yeah. This tier has a perfect name too. Yeah.
Yeah, makes
Never,
sense.
honestly, never got it. It was too hard. Heart of the Cards. Literally just need to get a class. It's kind of tedious because it's that class, but
Yeah, just going through the ringer with Gambler.
yep.
If you don't get lucky, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money.
All right, we've done it, Sep. That's every single achievement rated. Look at our work, Sep. It's only an hour long video.
It's beautiful.
It's only an hour long video. I'm looking at the recording time, 53 seconds and 52 seconds. Did I just say seconds twice in a row?
Wow, that's like 2 minutes.
54 minutes and 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. How did this take an hour?
Maybe because there's 71 achievements.
And we probably spent multiple minutes on probably a few achievements. Yeah. Um, more. All right. This is a rant time, Sep. What do you want to say to more? This is the personal message to more.
Well, there's a lot of things I could say. Namely, please fix time spells. They have so much funny potential, and they still do have a lot of it. But just the fact that there's a lot of skills that break it when you try and use them inside of it. Like, why can't I use Sword to the Knee? Why can I use Lightning Strike but not Sword to the Knee? Where's the line drawn? Furthermore, there are some specific attacks that break it only when used on the first turn. Soul fused attack. So, I just time spells had a lot of potential, but it's just kind of funny because they have a lot of bugs. Other than time spells. Temple Layer 2? That would be really funny. There was a running joke a bit ago, way long ago actually, like December of last year, where Temple Layer 2 would release before Deepwoken Verse 2, but that didn't happen. It's a little sad. Heartrending even.
Yep. I'd say my personal thing I want is I've played the game in a minute, so I don't remember that well. Um, make temple like the temple encounters not have as many enemies per room. Like it can be a little annoying. I'm not gonna lie. It's not even that hard. It's just annoying. Um, next thing, temple layer two. That's the thing I want. Uh, like hard mode Vlad would be cool. Um, and like some of these classes that have tier twos but no tier three are just kind of like eh. Like obviously, obviously Dark Mage, Beast, Chief Fighter, and Soul Warrior. I know Soul Warrior was talked about, like Soul Knight or whatever. Definitely what I'd want is Chief Fighter or Beast. Beast is like my favorite class. Not really, but it's my favorite class for the sake of a point. I really want a tier three because then my build that's like makes Beast semi-viable would maybe become actually viable. So yeah, Chief Fighter doesn't need a tier three to be fair, but it'd be cool if it had one. I'm gonna be honest, I have a Chief Fighter build that has like nearly 20 in every stat. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I just solo things on it. That was the whole point of it. Except I forgot to solo things on it because I stopped playing. Yeah, Dark Mage tier three could be cool. Anyways, uh, now we're moving on to the final section of this video. You take it away, Sep.
Oh, I bid farewell to the port and the land, and I paddle away from brave England's white sands to search for my long ago forgotten friends, to search for the place I hear all sailors end. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my mind, I'll search without sleeping till peace I can find. I fear not the weather, I fear not the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me? When their bones in the ocean forever will be. Plot a course to the night, to a place I once knew, to a place where my hope died along with my crew. So I swallow my grief and face life's final test, divine promise of peace and the solace of rest. As the songs of the dead fill the space of my ears, their laughter like children, their beckoning cheers, my heart longs to join them, sing songs of the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me? When their bones in the ocean forever will be. When at last before my ghostly shipmates I stand, I shed a small tear for my home upon land. Though their eyes speak of depths filled with struggle and strife, their smiles below say I don't owe them my life. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my eyes, and my boat listed over and tried to capsize, I'm this far from drowning, this far from the sea. I remember the living, do they think of me? When my bones in the ocean forever will be. Now that I'm staring down at the darkest abyss, I'm not sure what I want, but I don't think it's this. As my comrades call to stand fast and forge on, I make sail for the dawn till the darkness has gone. As the souls of the dead live forever in my mind, as I live all the years that they left me behind, I'll stay on the shore but still gaze at the sea. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for our souls in the ocean together will be. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for our souls in the ocean together will be.
Give it a round of applause for Sep. That was beautiful. Almost makes me think of how I'm gonna sing in choir tomorrow, and I'm still sick. I'm gonna have so much fun. So yep, this has been the great video with the man himself. Um, so that's it. Any last remarks, Sep?
I would just like to point out that I will be singing the Gadeshu March in the next video. Thank you. That is all.
Yep, yep. This is planned. I remember was planning that. Yep. All right, that's it. I hope more adds an update soon. Cool. Yeah.